like little odd jobs, my boys hustle, which you can't like relate them.
From when I started receiving my salary, my dad is just like, it's over.
Do I receive any financial aid? From where? From whom? From whence?
Hi! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down there. Yeah, so let's get straight onto the video. But you know, as usual, if you haven't caught up on the previous episode, just do that. Anyway, so the topic of the day today is where's the money?
No, I have worked previously. The only difference is that in the past I have had part-time jobs or short contract jobs. So this was my first long-term contract job.
Yes, formally it was. I have actually worked before, but I had worked during like a university holiday where I did a lot of a cashier job in like a Kenchik, but it wasn't really like a contract and everything. It was a job for a holiday which I got through someone who knows someone. Yeah, so we are safe to say that this was my first ever formal, let's call it formal job by which I have a contract and everything.
This was my first job. I've never really had a job before. So yeah, this was my first job.
So no, this was not my first job. I think I got my first job when I was in the first year. I worked a bit at Ipsos Knowledge in Lavington, and then in between second year, third year, I worked some like little odd jobs. My boys nafanya ko hustle, which you can't like relate them on the CV. So, and then after that, I had a job as a supervisor for some farm in also Lavington. And then after that, I worked at IFRA, the French Institute of Research in Nairobi, in Kileleshwa. And that was just before I got this job. So this was kind of like my fourth job, I think. Yeah, so I had like worked a bit. And also, you know, like IFRA is a French institute. So I had like that experience of working with French people, because I remember that time was the office was the only man and the only Kenyan. And the others were like French ladies. So I kind of like had like some little experience from working with them. So coming here wasn't something really new. I've been in that French professional experience.
So of course in Kenya, you know, we live on the Kenya shillings, and here we live on the euro. Yeah, Euro countries tend to be a bit more expensive because 1 euro is valued at 112 Kenya shillings. I stand to be corrected, I'm not sure. Sikumbuki vizuri, but it's something like that. 112, 115, 110. I'm not sure honestly, but yeah, it's around somewhere there. So yeah, so given that, the 1 euro is already like 100 and something Kenya shillings. You can already tell that things would be priced higher. Yes. So the cost of living in comparison to Kenya is, I'd say, almost 3 times. Roughly, I'd give it 3 times the cost of living in Kenya. That's the estimate I'd give. Yeah.
The cost of living in France is so high. Everything is so unreasonably expensive. It's ridiculous even. In Kenya, the way we can leave the house with 200 Kenya shillings and like have transport and lunch. Here, I think you would have to live with like 2,000 Kenya shillings, which is like 20 euros. I feel as though things are so exaggerated. I don't actually know how people manage to stay in France or in Europe. I think even the essentials, the basics are like really expensive. I remember when I first arrived, before I got a monthly internet subscription, I had to buy credit. And the lowest credit I could get was like going for 10 euros. And you'd think because it's that expensive, it's going to like last you till eternity, but it would last me just like 2 days. And so I would have to recharge after 2 days. I remember it cost me about 70 euros to just buy credit, and it was just so crazy.
It's quite expensive compared to Kenya. If you compare prices of things like rent, food, pretty much everything. There's some things that are cheaper. Like transport, I think is cheaper, a bit cheaper. Weird things like chicken is a lot cheaper here. There's just some things that are cheaper, but in general, it's a lot more expensive.
The cost of living in comparison to Kenya, I would say it's not the same. It's a bit high because some things here, because rent is super high in France. Rent is super high. Clothes are super expensive. Shoes are super expensive. Food, there might be like 1 or 2 things that might be cheap, but others compared to Kenya, super expensive. Restaurant, eating out, still expensive. So compared to Kenya, because in Kenya, I remember campus, you will live and survive for like a whole week with 500,000 shillings alone. You survive there a whole week. Buku, you can't compare. You can't survive a whole week with that amount. So life is super expensive here. Life is super expensive. But there, of course, there are ways you can like limit yourself. Work things around, and also just pray to if you're coming here, pray to be blessed or live in a place that isn't that expensive. So that, I think there you can manage a bit.
The salary is around 770 to 820, but normally most of the time it's 799. Okay, at least mine most of the time is around 799, 785, around there. It is sufficient. If you're good with your money, you can live on your salary alone. But that depends greatly on where you live as well. If you live in somewhere like Paris, then it's probably not going to be sufficient. But if you live in a cheaper area, it's going to be enough.
Okay, the salary is roughly 800 euros, 785 or 795, somewhere there, but it's roughly 800 euros. Let's say 800 euros. Has it been sufficient? Yes, it has been sufficient. I thought it wouldn't be, but yes, it has been sufficient to live here, but it's just sufficient for one person to live in Europe. Just me. If I get a child now, I don't know what to do with it because I can't afford a child. I can only afford myself. And even me. Yeah, but it has been sufficient to live a relatively normal life. Not extravaganza. No.
The salary is 780 euros a month. Is it sufficient? I don't think so. with this exaggerated cost of living, to be honest, I think it's like earning 30,000 Kenya shillings in Nairobi. So you have to pay your rent, pay other bills, meet other extra expenses, and at the end of the day, how much do you have left? I don't think you have much left.
So the salary is about 800 euros about, and it is sufficient for me. Yes, more than sufficient, because I think I was one of the lucky ones where I was placed. I was lucky to find like a housing or accommodation with some like really nice family. I have no idea. So like, because I'm renting out a whole house, I have like a whole house with everything from the internet, from electricity, water, TV, everything, like a whole house for only 100 euros per month. Like in Kenya, there's no chance you can get that for 100. For like 10k, you can't get all that. But here in France, I'm getting all of that for 100 euros. So the only thing I have to do is like pay the 100 euros and then like find something to eat with the rest of the money. So for me, it's quite okay. It's more than sufficient. But I've had like people with different experiences, people who wasn't as lucky as I was, so they couldn't get housing. So like the people who are paying like rent for like 400 euros, 450, 350. So for them, they might say it's a bit unbearable because of the high rent they're paying. But of course they can apply for the CAF. But for me personally, yes, the salary is more than enough. Yeah.
This is an interesting question because I am one of those people who cannot keep a budget. I prefer to be very free when it comes to how I spend money. My philosophy is that I work so that I can earn the money I need to do the things I need to do. Maybe one day I will grow up from this, but that's how it is currently. And if I'm being completely honest, in France, what I have done is mostly shopping, restaurants, and traveling. And also a lot of my money goes back to charity, to be honest, especially like into church stuff. I care about things like those.
Hey, let me check. So maybe when coming here, the point wasn't like to come like live it up in France. I came here to like work and save, go spend the money back home. So my budget is hard. So I think the first few weeks when I came here, I was let's say I would like spend around. I would like go to the supermarket and like do shopping like for food like twice a week. I'll maybe go on a Monday and then go again on a Thursday or a Friday for the weekend. So I will spend around 20 euros on food for the week, and then on transport, because like when I'm renting the house, there's also like 10 bikes, so you can use whatever bikes I want. So I use the bike for transport, so I don't board the bus a lot when going to school to work. I just ride the bike to school, so I save money on transport. So on coming, I will like use 20 euros per week. So 20 euros per week, I will like put aside around 100 euros, 100 euros per month, just for my expenditure, like eating and everything. Yeah, so I know it's yeah, like najipunza kabisa, najipunja. So for me that works, but for someone else it won't be unbearable. But for me kind of works.
Budget. So I've written down the things that are essential, like the things that I have to pay for every month, and I'm good. Then anything else after that is just money I choose to spend that I don't have to spend. So I spend 280 on rent a month, and then groceries between like 100, 150 for food and just stuff for the house, cleaning stuff. But I used this month and it was 120, so 280 on rent, 120 on groceries. Transport I pay 27 euros 50 cents, so let's just say 28, and I can use anything, the bus, the tram, yeah, pretty much everything. And for my phone I pay 9 euros or 8.99, which is quite good. I have free calls within France and I have a lot of internet, I think 50 GB, and it's normally more than enough. I never even finish it, so yeah. And then my bank I pay 3 euros a month. I don't pay insurance because I live with a family and they pay for their house insurance, but most of the time you'll be asked to pay insurance, which I think is around 9 euros or somewhere around there. And then entertainment, this is basically just Netflix. I pay 12 euros a month. So that's basically my monthly payments, like stuff that gets out of my account every month, and it's also automatic, except the food part and the transport part. The transport part I renew myself. So yeah, that comes to 452 euros. And if I subtract from the salary of 800 euros, I'm left with 348 euros. So that money can be saved. Sometimes I'm not that good and I spend it on just other things. But yeah, that's money. With 452 euros, I am okay, and anything else is extra. So yeah.
So my monthly budget roughly looks like this. First, of course, I start with rent. My rent is 300 euros. So I pay rent first of all. So I have 800 minus 300. I have 500 left. For me personally, I find that 150 euros is enough for groceries and food. Yes, 150 euros is enough for me in terms of groceries and food. I put 150 euros aside for enjoyment. By enjoyment I mean traveling, going to see friends, eating out. Yes, 150 euros. So now we've done 300 plus 300. We've eaten through 600. We have 200. I save 150, and then for the rest of the money I have certain bills to pay. For example, my phone, my Wi-Fi, if I'm going to be using transport. Yeah, that's a rough budget of mine in a month.
I haven't done any other job. I know a lot of people who have, but I haven't done any. I was looking for some tutoring jobs, but I never really got. And then with all this coronavirus and stuff, it's even harder. I know some people who've done babysitting, a lot of different things, but no, I haven't had any other job or stream of income.
Oh hell yes. So yes, I had found other sources of income. But of course, at the moment we're not doing anything because of the corona just don't deal with it. So yeah, that was when I came to France. It took me like a couple of months before like I settled down and like had my roads everywhere. But I was like actively looking for other stuff. So eventually I found teaching jobs, and I was actually even babysitting. So I was teaching. Okay, let's say on Mondays I had no classes, so I was just at home. So I would wake up and then go to the gym in the morning, and then at 5 I would go teach these two quick little girls English till around 6:30, and then at 7 I will go babysit till around 9. So that's on Monday. Tuesday I will go to school the whole day, and then I'll leave school around 4:30, and then at 5:15 I'll go babysit till around 9. Wednesday school till around noon, and then I will have a lady from the lycée come to my house. Then I will teach her for English for an hour, and then Wednesday is adult babysit, and then on Thursdays I will Thursday school again the whole day, and then I will go babysit in the evening at around 5:15 to 9 again, and then Friday I will go teach two kids at around 5:30 to 7:30, and then Saturday the day will be free, so Saturday I will just be free, and then Sunday I'll also have another class at 12. So I was packed the whole week, jobs every time, and the babysitting I got paid around, babysitting was around 10 euros an hour, and the teaching was 15 euros an hour. So when I started the jobs, luckily they just came together at the same time. Nilikuja huko nimefika nimehustle nimepangaiza kila mtu, watu wamenijua, wameshapewa jobs. So they got a point I wasn't even actually using the money for my main job. I even forgot my ATM pin because I wasn't using the card. I was just using the money I was getting from the odd jobs I was doing. So that was good. Yeah.
When I came, I thought I'd find a lot of side hustles to do, probably tutoring English or babysitting, dog walking, just something to give me supplement income. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know where I lie, I didn't get as much jobs as I thought I'd get. I even went up to the extent of hanging around posters, and nobody ever called me. You guys, let me out. Anyway, but I did manage to get one tutoring job. Yeah. But these jobs, you're not actually allowed to get jobs. You should actually with the contract that we have, you're not allowed to get other jobs, basically. So the jobs that you get should be informal, and on the low. To look for the forms of income, you can use a site called Nunotop, or Kinugard, or UPs. These are some of the sites that have posts about such jobs like babysitting, dog walking, such jobs that you can get.
Fortunately, yes, I do. The thing about France is that everyone is trying to learn English, so it's not very difficult to find people you can tutor. I have a Saturday tutoring class, let me just say a weekend tutoring class. I used to have it before coronavirus, and it wasn't really bad because at the end of the month it would give me 150 euros. 150 euros is a lot of money, to be honest. So yes, I did have an extra source of income.
For me, no. Okay, the only financial aid that I received was from my parents, of course, and that was when I was coming for the ticket and something to use for the first month, because by then we wanted to have been paid. And after that, no, I've been pretty much comfortable on my own. So I haven't received any financial aid because I haven't really needed it. I've been really comfortable with the job. I've been with the salary from the ideal program. And then
Okay, so there's some forms of financial aid that the French government gives you, just to help you survive in their country. There is one form called prime d'activité. It's like an amount of money that you get if you don't earn more than like the minimum wage. But for that there are a few complications, like you have to be a European citizen, or sometimes they just reject or something. Yeah. And then there is CAF, which is housing aid, so you're helped to pay your housing, but that really depends on you and where you're staying, and I can't really know the amount of money that I'm going to get from CAF, or the amount of money you're going to get from CAF. It really depends on the situation. Yeah. My parents, yes, I got financial aid from my parents, especially coming here. I think I forgot to highlight that the program does not pay for your tickets, for your air tickets. So my parents are the ones who sponsored my air tickets to come here, which was not too okay. Yeah, they sponsored my air tickets to come here, which were around 60k Kenya shillings to 100k. Really depends on which flight you choose to take, and the times you book, because the later you book, the more expensive the flights are. Another thing was that on the first month, when you come, the first month you don't get your salary. You don't, like, immediately you arrive, you need money to live on. So for that, my parents had supported me for the first month and the second month. But there's a way you can petition to have for your first month and your second month. Yeah, but if you have everything sorted in time, you can apply to have your first month salary sent to you, if you manage to apply for the petition, because you have to have the main thing that usually stops you is a bank account. So if you have everything in order, you can manage to apply for your salary at the end of the first month. But usually they give you your salary at the end of the first 2 months. So you need money to survive from the time you arrive in France to the time they pay you. So for that, my parents catered for that as well.
From where? From whom? From whence? Of course, yes, when I moved in, my parents were very concerned. They made sure that I was well settled in. They incurred my first expenses. But immediately I began earning my own salary. They were like, adios. And so since then, I have been incurring my own bills without any financial aid. It's true that in France you can apply for like some financial stuff, but oh my gosh, the bureaucracy in this country is crazy. Do you know, up until now, I don't even have any French thing. I don't have a French bank account. I don't have like the medical insurance cover, because the bureaucracy was just too much for me. The administrative processes are complicated. Well, they can be hacked, but I could not hack them. So no, I don't have any financial aid from the French government either.
From my parents, no, I don't ask for any money from my parents, and I like it that way. And from the government, yes. Here there's something called CAF, and you can get money from CAF if you're poor like me. So I applied for housing aid, so they sent me 107 euros a month for aid for my housing. There are other things that you can get. Unfortunately, we are not European, so the Europeans here can get a lot more money from them, but we can't. So yeah, that's the money I've been able to get from them. And then also for transport, if I send my receipt for the transport ticket I bought, I get a refund of half of it. So yeah, but then I forgot once, don't forget these things. So yeah, you get a refund of your money. Take advantage of these things. Ask for CAF, ask for all of them, and yeah, you'll be good.
So we come to the end of the video. I hope you've learned about the money, honey, and how your budget is going to roughly look like in a foreign country, foreign country like France. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you need to share this, share it out, share with everyone you know, and look out for the next episode. And if you haven't subscribed, I don't tell you twice, subscribe, and see you in the next one.